Hello everyone, so next topic which we are going to discuss is basically about instantaneous center. It is a really important topic from theory of machines here. So today we will discuss about the instantaneous center, exactly what it is and where we are going to use it and how we can find the value of instantaneous centers for a sliding pair, for a turning pair as well as for a rolling pair. Clear? So we are going to start with the definition of it, that what is the meaning of instantaneous center. So it is a point in space with respect to which the whole link can be assumed to be in perfect rotation. Clear? So it is a point about which we can assume that the entire link of a mechanism can rotate about that particular point. Clear? So किसी भी mechanism में जो link है, let us suppose I am saying that any particular link can rotate totally about a fixed point that is given to us. So that point about which the link can rotate is called my instantaneous center. So I will basically explain you the input diagram that basically will give you a better understanding of it. Clear? So right now I'm just drawing a rolling pair, we can say. So we have a rolling pair. Clear? Let us assume we have 2 points over it. We have a point P over here. Clear? And we are having point Q over here. Clear? This is my center. So let us suppose this is the point at which it is having contact with the ground. So this is my point of contact, it is called B. Okay. So B basically is a point of contact of the roller with respect to the ground. Okay. Let us suppose this is the center of it, and we know that this is the center of mass of the entire sphere, we can say. So this center of mass basically will have a velocity that is called VCM. So obviously right now this ball is at this point. After a certain point of time, it will be at this point. Here it means the center of mass is moving here with the velocity VCM towards this side. So VCM basically represents the velocity of center of mass at the center of it. Here now we are going to focus on the point P as well as on the point Q. So starting with the point P first. Here, तो जब भी आप point P को देख रहे हो, obviously this point P is going to have a velocity like this, that is called VPR. Clear? So that is a velocity at point P because of the rotation of it. So since we are saying it is rotating, so obviously it is going to rotate. Clear? So the velocity of rotation at point P, we can say simply it is VR. Clear? That basically will be easy to understand. So VR basically represents the velocity of rotation. Clear? After that, at point P, we are going to have a velocity because of the center of velocity of the center of mass of it. Clear? So because of the velocity of center of mass, obviously this point P will also move in this direction with velocity of center of mass. Okay, so it is having more velocity because of the center of mass, because of the velocity of center of mass. So that this is second velocity. Now, since this is the velocity of rotation, this is the velocity at point P because of the center of mass. So obviously we are going to have a resultant between the both. The resultant basically will lie at this point. At this point, and this is called my VP. That is the net resultant velocity acting at point P. So it is my VP. Clear? So whenever we are going to join the point P with the point B over here, the angle made by the resultant VP with the B will be 90 degrees. So this angle will always equal to 90 degrees when we are going to try to find it. So the angle made by the resultant of the velocity at point P with the point B is 90 degree. Clear? Similarly, for point Q, we say if we have to find the value of, first of all, the point at Q will have a velocity because of the center of mass. Velocity of center of mass. So it is in this direction only. Clear? At the same time, it is rotating. This entire thing is having a rotation. So we can say that at point Q, we are having a VR, that is the velocity of rotation, since it is rotating also. Clear? Then again at the center of it we are going to have a resultant of both. So resultant of BCM and VR basically will be at the center of it. It is called VQ. That is the net velocity acting at point Q. Clear? When I join the point Q also with the point P, this angle will again come out to be 90 degree. So what we can get out of this? We can say that point P as well as point Q can rotate about point B. So I can say that point B basically is my instantaneous center. Instantaneous center. Why? Because all the points on this body can rotate about the point B. So I am taking 2 points P and Q only. You can take any other point. You can take R over here. You can take S anywhere over here. All the points here are going to rotate about this point B only. And the angle between the resultant and point B will always going to be 90 degree. Clear? So this is the definition of instantaneous center. It means here we can say that entire body can rotate about point B. So point B is my instantaneous center. So that is what I say. It is a point in space with respect to which the whole link can be assumed to be in a perfect rotation. Clear? So this is the definition of simple instantaneous center. Now, for different types of pair, we are going to have different positions of instantaneous center. For example, let us suppose this is my turning pair. This is my link 1. This is my link 2. Clear? Both the links are turning about this point. Clear? In this case, when we have two links and they are basically turning about a joint, now that joint basically will be known as my instantaneous center IA. So I can say I12. So I12 here basically represents my instantaneous center. So for a turning pair, I can say this is my instantaneous center. Next, for the rolling pair, this is just example of rolling pair. So I am just showing it one more time. Clear? I can take a simple case of it. Let us suppose it is now rotating like this, and I have 2 points. Clear? Over here, I have, let us suppose this is VP. This is my point P. Clear? And this is my point Q. This is called VQ about point Q. Clear? So if I draw a perpendicular at this point and I draw a perpendicular at this point, both will meet at the point which is in surface contact with the bottom of it. Clear? So that is what I am showing here. So in this case, this point B will be my instantaneous center for P and Q. So I can call it IPQ, that is the instantaneous center of P as well as Q. Clear? So this is the second case for rolling pair. Clear? Now the last one is basically called sliding pair. So we can call it a sliding pair. Okay. So let us suppose this is a sliding pair in which it is sliding over here in this direction, and I have 2 points over it. This is my point number A. This is my point number B. So let us suppose this is VA here, and this is my VB. So velocity at point A is VA. Velocity at point B is VB. It is moving in this direction. Clear? So I have to find the instantaneous center of it. So if I have to find the value of instantaneous center of it, what I can do is I can draw a perpendicular over it. So if I draw a perpendicular at point A, as well as if I draw a perpendicular at point B, here they are. So what we can see over here, that these two lines will never intersect. It means for the sliding pair, we are not going to have a instantaneous center. The value of instantaneous center will be at infinity. So in this case, we will not have a sliding pair. Clear? So this is a simple example of turning, rolling and sliding pair. So here we can represent it. This is the definition of instantaneous center, and these are the classifications of turning, sliding and sliding pair. Okay. In the next lecture we will discuss about other types of instantaneous centers and how we can trace them. Clear? Till then, thank you very much, and please subscribe my channel, that is Mechanoreceptor. Thank you. And there is one more important thing, that is about the sliding pair. For example, if I say that the relation between V is equals to basically R omega. So if I have to find the value of R, that is the perpendicular radius, R basically is equal to V upon R omega. So here in this case, we cannot say this body is basically having any kind of angular velocity. So obviously the value of omega is 0. So R basically will be equal to V upon 0, that basically is equal to infinity. So that is why I am saying that for sliding pair we are not going to have the point of instantaneous center, we are going to have it at infinity, because these two lines at point A as well as point B, here these two lines will never intersect. It means for sliding pair we will never have a instantaneous center. Okay.